Merhaba arkadaşlarım. So I've had these books for a while here, the stack of books. I got them for like Christmas, with the exception of two, and I haven't made a library tour video about them yet, for reasons being that it just wasn't time. But now it's time. So the first book is The Origins of Political Order by Francis Fukuyama. People love this guy. I haven't read too many of his books. I do want to collect all of his books and read them simply because people love them. And I actually don't know what this book is about. I'm going to guess that it's about political order. But I actually don't know what this book is about yet. I just got it because it's Francis Fukuyama and I want all of his books. Next book is I Am a Strange Loop by Douglas Hofstadter. I'm familiar with the concepts behind this book, and I watched a lecture on this book. It's basically about like consciousness and how it's a feedback loop. I've actually heard complaints about this book that it was too plain and too like self-evident, but we'll see. I haven't read it yet, so maybe it'll be better than what some people have said. It's got a book award sticker on it, so it can't be that bad. Consilience, Edward O. Wilson, The Unity of Knowledge. So he writes about sociobiology a lot, and I don't know, I believe this is actually like a philosophy book and how it relates to the natural sciences like biology, chemistry. That's what my belief of this book is about, basically like putting a biological underpinning on philosophy. However, I haven't read it yet. I actually haven't even read the cover or the back, so we'll see. I'm definitely looking forward to reading this. Francis Fukuyama, updated with an afterword. The End of History and the Last Man. I have no clue what this book is about. But again, it's Francis Fukuyama, and so therefore I'm going to read it. We'll see how it goes. But a lot of people actually read Francis Fukuyama. Steven Pinker cited him a bunch in some of his books. I've talked to people like on Discord where they've talked about Francis Fukuyama a lot. So he's probably going to be worth reading all of his books. Hopefully, I hope he doesn't have this problem where some authors, they'll write many books, but they repeat their ideas in all the different books. George Lakoff has this issue quite a bit. The History of Japan. So this was gifted to me because I'm going to go through a Japan history stack. I have a bunch of books on the history of Japan. And the person who got me this book said that it had good reviews. I know nothing about it. I actually didn't even know it existed. So I'm looking forward to reading this. A History of Ancient Egypt, Volume 2, From the Great Pyramid to the Fall of the Middle Kingdom. I have the other volume of this, I think. I'll have to check my bookshelf. But this is a 2-volume series. There's Volume 1 and Volume 2. I'm going to go over, so right now I'm going over like a Middle Eastern history stack, and after that, because that stack is more general, I'll get into each country, and the first country I'm going to do is either Iran or Egypt, and so that's why I'm getting these books, ancient Egypt books, history of Egypt. Niall Fergunson, The Ascent of Money. This was gifted to me. Niall Fergunson is one of those authors, again, that you buy all their books and read all their books because they're good authors. He has some pretty good books on systems theory, and this was gifted to me. Basically, the person asked if there's an author I like, and then I said Niall Ferguson, and so I got a Niall Ferguson book. Now, these last two books are actually books that I got. They're books that I'm getting for researching it to write another book. Not anytime soon, maybe in 2 or 3 years from now. This is a book about complexity and how it applies in everyday life. Complexity is one of these fields that's a little bit newer, complexity, chaos sciences or complex systems. And I think this is going to be really important for understanding concepts like the internet or neural networks and things like this, just different paradigms of thinking. Artificial Unintelligence. I got this because it's going to be related to the book that I'm going to write 2 or 3 years from now, How Computers Misunderstand the World. This is actually quite a very funny title. I have no clue what it's about, and I have yet to go through like a serious reading list on computer science. I will at some point, but I would like to see like how computers are doing bad in some areas, because all you hear about is how computers are doing really good in some areas of life, right? You don't really get a lot of books that critique how computers are performing. So that's why I got this book. So that's all the new books I got added to my library. And with that being said, tschüss.